Hi guys, Paul Oliver O'Leary here, and just made a second video today. Seeing as I had a bit of time in my hands, I wanted to get a few things done, and I want to talk about um, when you have an idea of a business, or you have an idea of something that you want to do, or a product you want to make, or a service you want to give, or whatever it is, or an artistic endeavor that you want to take on, and you have all the ideas for that, and you get about doing it, and next you find out that there's somebody else somewhere else, or it could be even next door to you or across the street from you, or no matter where it is, they're doing the same thing, with the same idea, maybe a little bit different to you, but they're doing it. And I've seen so many people say, "Oh, really? I can't do that. Then I can't start now because the other person is here doing it. They've gotten there before me." Well, I would have thought like that as well for a long time, and about things. If somebody else was doing something that that I wanted to do, I would give up. I would have said, "Okay, that's their gig now. Let them have that." I've got to go off and think about something else. And what I've realised is that's not the way things actually are. Somebody said to me once, trying to put it straight in my head, they said, McDonald's doesn't worry about Burger King opening up next door to them. In fact, they invite it. Because what it does is it creates a hub of activity around that location. And it potentially draws in the people that like Burger King food, and they may go to McDonald's as much as McDonald's people will go to Burger King every so often. So things kind of balance out, and in general they may even make more. What I would say is, when you have a situation where you have a couple of businesses or a couple of service providers or whatever doing the same thing as you, then your job then is where you need to be better. You need to promote better. You need to get your message across better, and you need to make sure that the people know that your product is really, really good, and your service is really, really good, because you do certain things that the other people don't do, and you offer those things to them, and you tell them about it. Otherwise, you look the same as everybody else. And there's in many food malls, in shopping centres or malls, shopping malls, if you might call that where you live, you'll see there'll be a number of different fast food places, or even more healthier options and what else have you. And not everybody evenly goes to each place. You'll see a lot of the times one particular fast food place is busier than all the others. In as far as I can see, in my country, in Ireland, McDonald's is the busiest one in all the other fast food places in a food mall. And it would be mainly down to marketing and product placement, and that the other companies don't do as much. They don't put themselves out there as much, because McDonald's has such a massive catchment area, and such a massive amount of money to invest in themselves, that they can get into people's psyches. Now, you don't necessarily have to invest in so much advertising, but you need to be able to get your message across. You need to be able to communicate with your customers, and there's many different ways of doing that. But you need to believe that your idea is better than the other person's. Just because two people open up a hairdressing salon doesn't mean that they're both going to be successful. One person's salon could crash and burn within a few months, and the other person could become quite busy and wealthy from their salon, just because of there's a unique difference between two individual businesses, and that would be the person who's driving that business. If the person who's driving the business is passionate and committed, and works really, really hard, works longer than the other person, so when they open up shop, they're opening up shop, they're in the shop before the other person's in the other shop. When they're closing shops, they're working later than the other person. When the other person's on a day off, the other guys have somebody in doing something in their place. They're doing something all the time. They're making themselves better. When you put that extra effort in, you will get rewards back. When you put the extra effort into your customers, they will give you back the rewards as well. You need to be doing something unique. You need to be giving people the feeling that going to your place is a much better experience than going to the other people's place. I started up my martial arts business in a world where there's martial arts clubs are a dime a dozen. I'm not unique in that way. What is unique a little bit about my business is we have a full-time studio. Our building is dedicated fully to martial arts training, and that's what we do. You don't have to go to a hall someplace that's been rented out. They may not be in the best of repair. We have car parking just outside the door, free car parking. We have a safe environment for the children or adults to take part in classes. We have friendly, active instructors. We try to do as much as possible. We give the kids plenty of other activities to do apart from just martial arts things. So we kind of build up that kind of way. And whatever it is that you do, you can find that thing yourself, but you basically need to get that message across that you're the go-to person. That that people say, okay, I want to get this thing. I want to get this thing, and to get this thing, I want to go to this person because this person is the best at doing it that I can go to right now. How do people formulate that idea? It's through your communication. You probably know I do an awful lot of work on Facebook. I have my two pages, Rebel and You, and my Rebel Martial Arts business page as well, and Rebel Martial Arts, my profile page. And through them, I'm building up my brand awareness for both different parts of what I do. And it's not about selling things to people. It's more about giving people the idea of what I do, giving people the feel of what I do. Let people get involved and let people get engaged with it. I'm trying to reach out to my customers, my potential customers, my clients. Maybe that's another video I should do too, actually, between customers and clients. But you need to just engage with the people. You need to communicate to them and let them know what service you give and how that service is better. And make sure that they know that going to you is a better option. Now sometimes people are going to go to your competitors, and that's going to happen. That's going to be natural, for whatever reason that is. And they may go to your competitor and they may badmouth you, and then they'll come back to you and they'll badmouth your competitor, in the same breath. And you just need to be prepared for that. But what your challenge is, your daily challenge is to draw people in towards you, and then convert them from being a customer to being a client, because of your interaction with them or because of their experience with your company or with your product. When you keep that idea in mind, then what the other people are doing won't essentially worry you. If it comes up and you see it, and it's really good, appreciate it. If your competition are doing a brilliant advertising campaign, appreciate it. And I would say don't worry about taking ideas from other people, even your competitors, because they didn't have that original idea themselves. They probably took it from some other thing and then integrated it back into their product and service. And you can do the very same thing. You just find where that thing is. You try and see another model of advertising or marketing and take that idea into what you're doing, and then learn. If you see something from your competitor and you decide that it's not the best thing to do, that you wouldn't do it, well, that is learning as well. And you're learning from this other person who's in the same field as you, who is in the same market, and they're working on the same customer base, and you see something that they're doing and you don't agree with it, then that's just as much learning as anything else. So then you don't do that. So generally that's the idea, guys. I really don't want people to be disheartened whenever they come into the realization that somebody else is doing something that they want to do already. You don't have to worry about that. Like the Henry Ford wasn't the first person to build cars, but like he built a very big company afterwards. On the back of his idea of what a car should be. There's many different types of cars in the world because there's many different types of markets in the world. So you need to decide what your market is, what your unique selling point is to the market, and make sure you get your message across. And then don't worry about what the other people are doing. Take them out for lunch sometime. Have a shoot the breeze and have a chat with them, and maybe you can learn something from each other. Thanks guys for listening. See you soon.